with all that down, let's now move on to our fifth and final main topic today. And our fifth and final main topic today gets submitted to us by Lavish Pandit, who writes, "Hey, John, big fan. Thank you so much, man. My question to you is, why do actors like Bryan Cranston, for example, not come into the conversation of the greatest actors living today? Cranston has got 6 Emmys, and he was very good in Malcolm as a comedic actor." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, you know what? I hadn't really thought about it before until you sent in that message about, you know what? That's true. When we get into these conversations about the greatest actors either of all time or the greatest actors today and all that kind of stuff, it's always the theatrical actors that are mentioned. It's very rarely, if ever, the television actors that get put into that conversation. So why is that? Are television actors just inherently less talented than movie actors? I don't think that's true. Does nobody know who television actors are? Well, no, a lot of people watch television, especially like a show like Breaking Bad with a guy like Bryan Cranston, who is infinitely likable and infinitely talented. So why is it that guys like Bryan Cranston and other television actors never get mentioned when we have these conversations, when we get into these discussions about who are the greatest actors today? I have one main theory about it, about why. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not talking about shoulds or shouldn'ts. Shoulds and shouldn'ts I'm taking out because you're asking me, why do I think this is the case?
Yeah.
Not whether it should be the case or not. Why is it the case? Here's my main theory about why we never hear the television actors mentioned in these great actor debates. I think, and I could be wrong, and again, I'm not saying this is the way it should be. I think it's because, for the most part, these great television actors, we only know them for one role. Like a lot of people, Bryan Cranston has done a lot more than just Breaking Bad. But when you ask the average person out there, you know, oh, hey, who's this Bryan Cranston guy? They're not going to say he's the dentist from Seinfeld. They're not going to say, oh, he's that guy from Malcolm. They're going to say he's that guy from Breaking Bad. And I think when you look at these performers in their careers, they're known for playing one role. Now, you can have a great Olympic gymnast if they go out and just do the world's most perfect somersault, but that's all they do. They just keep doing the same somersault. It's going to be hard for other people to look at that and say they're the greatest gymnast. And that kind of analogy, I think, translates over to this, Rob, about how, you know, we see them playing the same role, and it's just the same role, and it's just the same role. Remember the actor John, I think you pronounce his last name Heder? The guy who was Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody loved him in Napoleon Dynamite, in that one role. No one ever liked him in anything ever since, though. Even when he was in Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell, you just realized, oh, yeah, the Napoleon Dynamite thing was really the only thing he had. Or he just never had the right role to really show us his stuff. The point is, with theatrical actors, we are seeing them once, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a year, taking on completely different characters in different roles, and it gives us a better appreciation for it. Again, I'm not saying about whether we should take that in consideration or shouldn't. I'm simply acknowledging that you're right. TV actors don't come up in those conversations, and if I had to come up with a reason why, I'm thinking it's because we usually only know those actors for playing the same role week after week. Right or wrong, fair or unfair, that's my theory as to why they're not in those conversations. Rob, first of all, I guess I should ask, have you also recognized that we never really hear television actors being mentioned in these great actors of our age, of our era, or of all time? Or maybe you've heard otherwise, and if so, why do you think that is?
Well, first of all, I think you're right. I think that television actors are known for their most indelible roles that we most identify them with. But also, I think there's sort of a prejudice when it comes to TV and movies, that movies are still at the top of that pyramid. And people think that, okay, if you are a movie actor, look, obviously you get a lot more diversity in terms of roles. And that's part of it. But also, I think movie acting is seen as being, because television acting is almost, even though you have great actors and they bring these characters to life, they don't have the diversity. Like you look at Brent Spiner, who played Data in Star Trek The Next Generation. He was great as Data, but Data was kind of a one-note character. And once he figured out how to play Data, but he played him with emotions and he did a great job. But it's not like he was going to play somebody who was, say, handicapped or, from a different country and maybe had a crazy accent. Like Meryl Streep was the queen of accents and she could play all these different characters. And I think that there's just film actors are given a lot more leeway and a lot more latitude to show what they can do in terms of acting ability in movies, as opposed to TV actors who end up playing these single characters. And that's not to say they're not. I think, by the way, John, I think Bryan Cranston is a world-class actor. He's amazing. I really love everything he's done, and being able to go from Malcolm in the Middle to jumping over to playing Walter White is in Breaking Bad is amazing. And then, when his film work has been great too. The guy's an amazing actor.
I love him, and I think he's great. And it's unfortunate that we don't get those guys included in those conversations. We put the question to you guys. What do you think the reason is that we don't often hear television performers who are every bit as good actors as film performers never get mentioned in these all-time great performances or all-time great actors lists? What's your theory about that? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.